Good afternoon, everyone, and apologies for the delay in getting to you. Had a bit of a technical hitch behind the scenes. Back up and running now. Trains are working. That wasn't the technical hitch, by the way. The technical hitch was me. My technical abilities did fail for us, I'm afraid. So, anyway, thank you for the sound check, Tim. That's great. Good to know you can actually hear us, and hopefully you can now see us as well. And welcome from well and onwards in New Zealand as well. You've travelled a long way by the internet to keep in touch with us here. So Mark, just for everyone who wants to just arrive and get involved with the live stream, so we had this little blip. Just tell us a little bit about what's actually running on the layout here.
Okay, so we're just giving it a proper shakedown now, ready for next weekend. The layout, of course, has been in storage for a good 5 years or so, and as a result, it's taken a while to dry out, literally. So we've had it set up for a few weeks now. We've made sure that it does actually work, and now we're just giving it that little shakedown of the various tracks and the points, which needs in places a little bit of a coaxing just to get back to working. But most of it seems to be working quite well now. So got a few trains running here today, which you'll see moving around. We normally, when we operate the layout at exhibitions, tend to do that sort of 1960s southern region period. So a little bit of steam, some electro diesels, electrics, and electric multiple units all sort of mingling together on the layout, just a bit of a transition. And today we've got a representative set, so we've got a Class 71 running around on a set of Mk.IXc coaches, one of which is in blue-grey, just to sort of give that sort of feel as to when the period is. But we've also equally got Merchant Navy running around as well, with some 12-wheel Pullman cars from a slightly earlier period, but that's sort of running around quite nicely at the moment with the 12-wheel Pullmans. And then we've also got a sort of our homage to a boat train with a 4CEP and a 4BEP, or SEP and BEP, a bit like they used to run down on the Kent coast, down to the likes of Dover and Folkestone and places like that. I should have put an MLV on the front. I have got one around the back there. By the time the weekend comes, they'll all be speed matched and be working.
So we have got one or two trains ready for
we have got a few, as you can see, and this isn't everything that you can see before you. There's lots in boxes underneath as well, which still got to be coded.
Indeed. So we've got a few questions already. So Timber Surf's asked us how many railway layouts. I'm not sure whether we should admit to how many layouts we have in the office at the minute.
Yeah, we've got quite a few in the office.
Yeah, so there's 12 Trees Junction is here right next to us.
Yeah.
Then upstairs we've got the Great Central Test Track that you see in a lot of our videos. We've also got, there's Knapford's up there, we've got Lanark side, there's 12mm bridge, the TT layout.
Yes.
There's an N-gauge layout, which is in storage up there. There's
yes.
fairly Synod Dart, and then there's a new layout as well.
New layout that's being built as well.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a few.
Yeah, we've got quite a few, haven't we?
Yeah. So and Tim's actually asking at the show how many stands there are as well. So I've just told him a load of information he doesn't want to know. But the Model Railway, the Model World Live, which is taking place on April the 26th and 27th, so just a few days away, which is the main reason we're really here today to talk to you about Model World Live, it's going to now feature 190 stands. So we started off with our original aim was to get to 150 stands. We surpassed that by a long way, and on the final count we did the other day, it was now exactly 190 stands that are coming to the show.
It's really phenomenal, isn't it?
It certainly is, and that's split across model railways, scale modelling, radio control, and some slot cars as well for the first time this year. Plus we've got some Legos. We've got a real mix of different things coming together. So.
Yeah, looking forward to it. There's lots of things planned. I'm really looking forward to the Lego, actually, because there's a Lego Railway with the 4th rail bridge.
That's right,
Lego.
exactly. A massive, it's an 8-metre long model of the 4th rail bridge, which takes part of a 10.5-metre long Lego railway. And that is one of, we've got 35 or 36 working model railways at the show, alongside everything else that really makes up this event. So one of the things to mention about with the layouts as well, we have got two humongous layouts as part of that lineup as well. So we've got Glasgow Eastfield for starters, which is it takes up 70 feet long and 40 feet wide in O gauge. This isn't just a depot layout, this is a full continuous run layout. It's got the main lines running across the front of the depot, it's got the depot itself, which is actually 13 feet wide on its own. And then round the back as well, it's also got Glasgow Queen Street as well.
That's right, so that's in development at the moment, and we should see what the latest version of this is, because we've only seen it to a certain point up until now, and I know the guys have been working feverishly behind the scenes to get it up to a bit more of an exhibition standard, haven't they?
Exactly right, and that's also this show in just over a week's time. I've got to keep mentioning that, not long. It's also the first time we're having Glasgow Queen Street operational as well. So Glasgow Queen Street won't be fully finished, but they are working on the scenery at the moment. They're pushing as far forward as they can by the time to come to show with that. And that will be working, so trains will be able to run in and out, which is the first time it's been seen at a show like that. And yeah, I mean, I went up to do the photo shoot with Jonathan a few months ago at the beginning of the year, and even just in an environment where it's quite restricted in that, in typical model railway really. It's full of things like this room is. But actually it's such a phenomenal layout, and there's so much to take in. I think sometimes you perhaps think like a big layout means there's no detail, but actually it's the complete opposite with this.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this layout, because it takes me back, because when I was quite much younger than I currently am, I can remember going around the depot on organised tours and just thoroughly enjoying the experience. We did a Scottish depots trip, which involved Eastfield and Haymarket. But Eastfield was something special at the time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the layout in operation.
Fantastic. And John's just said he actually remembers seeing this layout way back when at the Motor Museum when we used to do the Great Electric Train show there.
Absolutely, yes.
But I think it might have been in its original form then, when it wasn't quite the same shape.
That's right. It wasn't a roundy then, was it? It was end to end, and you'd lose. Well, we certainly could lose half a stone. I could probably do with that now, but we could lose about half a stone in a weekend just by lifting the various bits of train off the layout from the end to end on the cassettes.
Exactly. And another question from Tim. With all the shows we do, here's a question for you, Mark. How do we get the magazine out? Blood, sweat and tears.
Blood, sweat and tears. And yeah, plenty of coffee.
Plenty of coffee, yes.
Yes, we plan it all in, so it's always planned around the schedule for getting the magazine to press. So, for example, just to, this is just one of those examples where we've actually just put the latest issue to press, which comes out beginning of May. So that's already being worked on at the printers, which means that now the pressure's off a little bit, kind of. It means that I can then help with Mike getting the layout together here, getting it all ready, get everything boxed up, get it into the van, get it transported next week, plus the other bits and pieces we have to do to then get the show sorted for next weekend, which sort of starts back end of next week, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yeah. But I mean, this layout here has got to be in the back of the van on Tuesday.
It has.
So our week of Model World Live, actually, well, it's basically started now, really. But literally from Tuesday, we are full-time focused on delivering everything for Model World Live. We're loading this layout up here on Tuesday. We've got other equipment to load up as well. We're then off to Warrington to load up with making tracks on the Wednesday. Then we're at the venue from Thursday, starting the setup process and getting ready for the weekend. So it's an intensive week. So
yeah, and hopefully the glue and the paint on this section of the layout would have dried by the time it goes in the van.
So Richard's asked, are we going into competition with making tracks? Definitely not when it comes to length of layout. No.
No, I don't think in terms of length of layout. I think this is manageable enough. It keeps us on our toes with the amount of points, even with using a tablet system that we've now got here, which gives us route setting. It's still a challenge at times. So I've got to train the guys up next weekend when we get the layout put up on probably Thursday next week. Any of the guys that are there, we'll just have a proper shakedown of how it all works. Just so.
I do have a gift for you on Thursday as well.
Do
Mark.
you?
Yes. You're going to enjoy it.
Is it a badge?
It's actually worse than a badge.
Oh.
We've got a full-size Spitfire coming to the show.
Yeah.
A full-size Spitfire.
Yes, I do.
You've got to help me put the wings on.
Got to put the wings on.
Yes.
Wow.
So it comes in a 27-foot trailer, and we've got to help put that together as well.
People have often said I wing it, but I hadn't realised that that was literally going to be the case on Thursday.
That is one of our jobs on Thursday.
Okay.
So James has just said he didn't realise how much work went into organising a show. There is a humongous amount of work that goes into planning and delivering one of these events. I mean, Model World Live has been basically 12 months of planning from the point we went home from the 2024 show to the point of coming to where we are now, and everything then comes down to the wire to get it delivered actually at the very end. So,
and it doesn't stop there, because you then move on to the next show, and
the next show,
and the next show.
Yeah, because there's the Great Electric Train show coming in October.
There's always something on
Model World Live next year. Yeah, exactly. And we've got another question. A question for me about out of which of the layout builds I've done over the years, which have I enjoyed most? Up and onwards, enjoyed the 009, but actually I'd really enjoyed doing that 009 layout.
Yeah.
That was great fun.
It was one of those layouts that, it was a bit of a game changer from our perspective at the time, because of course it's at least two scenes in one, because if you step just about the right place, you don't see the other side, and then if you go in the other, and it just works. Yeah. And it's one of those layouts that from an operator's point of view, is very simple and very straightforward to operate. It can be as complicated or not, as the case may be, as you want it to be. You can just leave it running, and it just draws a crowd, and it's great.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things, actually, in terms of layouts that are favourites, I mean, this one really rates as one of my favourites.
Yeah, this is one of mine as well.
Yeah, it was a mad plan in the first place of actually having a junction in the middle, and the initial concept meant we had 3 cassette storage yards to run all the trains through it. And then I came up with an even worse plan to build all the storage yards around the back of it. It's great fun to operate.
It's made it more manageable having the storage yards at the back, because it does give you a little bit of grace between running trains, because otherwise you're constantly running trains, taking trains off, because it's also quite, when you think about these days how much, say for example, that locomotive and that rake of 12-wheel coaches are, to lift that up on a single cassette and move it from one side of the layout to another side without anything falling over and getting damaged takes some skills. And it was an interesting time, wasn't it, when we first started this?
And another question. Here's a question for you first, Mark.
Okay.
So, what are you both looking forward to the most at Model World Live? And it's from Richard at New Junction. It says, and we're not allowed to answer with laying in on Monday morning. Unfortunately, Richard, there is no laying on Monday morning or the Tuesday morning after the show. We've got to keep going because we've got vans to take back to where they came and stuff to take home. So.
That's the problem, you see. You don't see all the stuff that's behind the snes.
No.
It may seem that at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon we can put our feet up, have a bowl of soup and just head off to bed. But no, it'll be a long, late breakdown at the breakdown in terms of actually physically breaking everything down rather than anything else, and then having to take everything back to where it needs to be, then transport the vans back, then do the other bits and pieces.
We've got another adventure around the motorway network, haven't we?
And the motorway network as well. But I mean, I'm looking, as I mentioned earlier, I'm really looking forward to seeing Mk.IXc and also Eastfield. I think those two layouts, for me, I'm looking forward to seeing how the flats have turned out for the guys at Mk.IXc, because I know they've been working behind the scenes very hard to get those all sorted and in place. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that all up and running. As I say, Eastfield, looking forward to being a spectator of that. I'm also, looking forward to having a play with the layout, here.
We get to play with this at the show.
I know, because this is actually the most I mean, this has been set up now for, I don't know, a month and a half, something like that, a couple of months.
6 weeks it's been in here.
And it's really the first opportunity I've had to play trains, because we've been coding them into the system so that they're all logged. I'm now just going through, and because it's all DCC, I'm just going through and setting some of the CV settings to make sure that the trains stop within the distance that we'd like them to stop, rather than them keep going through the storage yard when you don't want them to keep going through the storage yard. So that's what my purpose of having a play with the layout today is.
So you can play with it more and enjoy it at the weekend.
Yes, exactly. Knowing the fact that the stock will stop when you want it to.
Exactly. So I think from my point of view with the show, I mean, there's so many things at Model World Live that are really exciting that actually picking one is near impossible. I mean, we're having a full-size Spitfire in the show, and that's incredible. I'm a little bit excited about that. I've also just booked a couple of other things that are coming to the show, which we'll be revealing later this week as well, which I'm really excited about. We've got Glasgow Eastfield. Yeah. We've got the Tamiya trucking guys with their radio control trucks. Love that, and actually they've got a learner driver experience.
I'm going to have a go at that.
Yeah, I think actually that's one of the things I do really like about what we're trying to do with Model World Live, and something I really enjoy from the show actually is that we're trying to encourage people to get involved with model railways or scale modelling or radio control, and actually create things where people can get hands-on. They can have a go at running our layout on our stand. They can have a go at the make and take on the with building an airfix kit. They can have a go at making Woodland Phoenix products. You can build a pine car race car with Model Collect Create and build that and race it for some prizes with Model Collect Create. We've got the learner driver thing. We've got some off-road RC trucks where you can have a go at driving them. I love the fact that people can come and get involved physically with the hobby and do stuff.
I absolutely love also going and looking at the scale modelling displays, because it's all those tips that you can pick up when you see the detail and see how many of these models have been meticulously painted up, built, and displayed. as well as getting all those bits and pieces. You know, when you go around the stalls and
Yes.
find bits and pieces that I normally can't pick up by hand, other than going to a show such as this. You know, the paints and the various
and actually,
tools and things.
the range of traders we have, we've massively expanded over what we had in 2024 for all areas. So there's more people in there for scale modelling, there's more people in there for railway modelling as well, and for radio control. And there's so many different things I think that each modelling genre can learn from each other in terms of product availability, what you can use to do things, how you can use the products as well. And one of the other many exciting things for me about the show actually is a lot of the scale modelling stands coming with demonstrations as well. So they'll actually be showing people how to make the kits rather than just sitting there displaying the kits as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly helped me when there's been certain products that, you know, I've asked some of the guys, how do you do this or how do you do that? And they say, oh, well, we use it. Oh, good idea. And I've been able to find it, get it, and actually make use of that particular product or what have you, whether it's a primer or specific type of paint or what have you.
Yeah. And a couple of other questions. So Richard Spelsky, I'll look into your ticket order. I'm sure it's okay. I know they're processing them in batches in terms of the printed tickets, so they will be all posted out, but I will just double check your order. If you don't hear anything by beginning next week, then do phone the office and they'll be able to sort you out if there's any problem there. But I know they are working through all those printed ticket orders. And you've got an invite as well, Mark. Oh. So, Mark, you need to come have a go with the radio-controlled 08 in 5-inch gauge.
Now that, yes, well, absolutely. I'll be there. Tell me when, I'll be there.
Indeed. The 5-inch, well, that is another thing to mention as well. We have got 5-inch gauge indoor working tabletop railway as well from the Ground Level 5-inch Association.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to everything that's on the bill. To be fair, it's going to, you know, you're going to have difficulty tracking me down at times. I think over the weekend.
What, you think I'm unchaining you from the steps?
You think he's joking?
It is going to be a fabulous event, I think. But I would say that. But I mean, I'm obviously incredibly invested in what we're doing with the show and how we're moving it forward. There's been a couple of comments in there about having an indoor flight zone. It is something we'd love to do in the future. We've got a grand plan for the future of Model World Live. We're, you know, second year we've done it. We're still moving forward with what we want to do, and loads of potential for the future. So.
Absolutely. Got slot cars as well, which I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
it's the Goodwood circuit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's our first time having slot cars at the show.
Yeah.
So we've got an 8 metre by 8 metre replica of the Goodwood circuit, which you can go and race on for a donation to Mission Motorsport, which is a motorsport charity. So
I have driven around the real one.
You've driven around the real one. Now I'm jealous now.
At great speed in a Ferrari. Scared the living daylights out of me, but I've been around it very fast. Years ago.
Yeah. So I haven't been down.
So I'm looking forward to do. I probably wouldn't do that same with the slot cars, but you know, I'll certainly look forward to having a go around that.
Yeah. And there is a second slot car track which we're announcing later today, which has been built by Dan Everson, which actually is a really interesting one because it actually combines model railway, slot car modelling, and scale modelling techniques all into one seat.
Nice.
So he's created a rally stage for slot cars, where everything's weathered, everything's detailed. It's fully scenic. It's based on a particular area in Wales where there's a hydro dam as well. It's actually, rather than being controlled by the typical slot car trigger operation, it's actually got it controlled by a gauge master controller. So you can have the cars constantly running around it as well. So that'll be something amazing, I think, to actually see. I mean, it's not humongous, but I think the concept of the scene, when you see the pictures later today, have a look on Key Model World, you'll see an update on that as well and how that actually looks. So and we've got another question as well, which we should really put this question to Ben, who's off camera and can't answer the question. So how many impulse buys do you reckon you'll have from the show? With Ben, you know, everyone's stock?
Yeah.
So I've got a shopping list.
Quite a few. Let's put it this way, probably quite a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's
never a time where I don't go off for a sandwich break or a comfort break where there's shopping involved.
I'm always amazed at how you go and find shopping opportunities.
Yeah, I build them into my day.
To be fair, there are a lot of new things that have arrived lately, and actually, if you just keep an eye on what's coming in on stock on different, you've got a train off, Mark.
Ah.
I'll keep talking on, but so there's a lot of new products that have arrived into the market over the last few weeks, and actually one of the things I'm looking forward to is actually going around the stands and seeing what's actually arrived and seeing them firsthand. So there might be a few impulse buys and additions to my collection from that point of view. Certainly plenty of opportunities to go shopping at Model World Live. I think we've got somewhere in the region of 90 trade stands spread across the hall, all different types of things, all different areas as well. So. Yeah, and Greasy Rails, yeah, mentioned the mix of modelling genres. Yeah, we really like this mix of modelling genres. It's bringing lots of different people together, different ideas together, and different ways of enjoying the modelling hobby, which is our primary aim, is to show you how much great stuff there is in modelling.
Yeah.
So that was a dangerous train to choose as well.
It was a very dangerous train to choose, and we have got, and I have just spotted it, I don't know whether my cable will let me move over, but I've noticed we've got a kink in the track here from the heat. So
the primary reason that actual 12-wheel Pullman set is on the layout is because it having 3 axles per bogie. We do find that if you've got something wrong with the track or a bad joint, it will highlight it very quickly. So it does have a purpose as well.
Yeah.
And another question, a couple more questions. What brand is the double portal bridge? It is a Scalextric one. We've got the same portal on the other side as well. I've just got to finish trimming down the one that you can see closest to the camera, which is still unpainted at the moment, because it's just a little bit taller than I need it to be for the layout. So it's Scalextric's collection, resin cast in one. And when will we see the floor plan? Very soon. That will be coming out very soon. We're just finalising and double checking that, making sure it's all signed off with the NEC, which is the important point before we release it to the public. And we'll have that out for you over the Easter weekend, I would think, at this point. The Steam Sounds AU's joined us from down under and running trains on Wakefield West, which is great. It's, and up and onwards, as mentioned about the 12-wheel Pullmans, they can be a challenge sometimes. I mean, we've got ours running nicely now. I think it's a case of making sure you check the back-to-backs on those so they are perfectly aligned on all the wheels, just to make sure they do run correctly. And Richard asked, is the show split into groups, i.e. trains, kits and cars? So yes and no. So we've tried to group different types of modelling together in different zones, but then the trade stands are a little bit mixed in some places as well. But it's you'll be able to find the model railways really easily, you'll be able to find all the scale modelling very easily, and then the radio controlled things, you'll find those quite easily on the floor plan as well. And Biscuit Barrels asks, is that a new section, scenic section on 12 Trees? Yes, it is. So we are finally building the missing 4 foot, which has needed to be done for the last 5 years.
Well,
6 years,
we were talking about it for at least a year and a half before we put it into storage. So yes.
Well, it's not existed ever since we
ever since it became
roundy.
Roundy. That's always been the bit that we were going to work on, and we never quite found the time to do it. So it's done now, and it's starting to look the part.
It is. It will be hopefully complete by the time we get to the show.
All being well.
It's going to be a busy day on that today,
isn't it?
And then we've got another question. Looking forward, actually more of a comment, but actually Brian Shew was looking forward to catching up with old friends and enjoying the exhibits, and we'll be popping by a stand to say hello to us, and Mr. Simon Kohler as well, of course. Another guest of the show. So Simon is launching his new book with Key Publishing at Model World Live, which is all about how he developed TT120 and launched it into the marketplace. Simon will be available all weekend at the show. He's doing book signings on the Key Model World stand at selected times on Saturday and Sunday. And plus, if you're a VIP ticket holder, we're about to release a list of information about seminars and presentations from different people, including Simon Kohler, which the VIP ticket holders can get exclusive access to.
Are you allowed to give a sneak peek of the cover?
Sneak peek of the cover, of course I can, yeah. I can even reach it as well. So that is the cover of Simon Kohler's new book. Like I say, that is launching on Saturday at Model World Live. And you can buy it as part of one of our bundle tickets at the moment, so you can get a discount on the book and a discount advance ticket together, and you can collect the book from our stand at the show, or if you prefer, you can just come and pick the book up from our stand at the show and get it signed by Simon as well.
Yeah, we've got loads going on, haven't we, this weekend, with announcements and all sorts of bits and pieces.
And John said, will we still be painting the layout as it's going up? Yes, we will, John.
I would imagine even on Thursday there'll be some little bits of layout touching up, I should imagine.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll have the bulk of the scenery will be done. And it'll just be final finishing off little bits and things. Yeah. I've seen a whole load of other things that I don't have tools for here, which I've got to mark out, take away and cut at home to bring back. So it's going to be a busy few days to get it all ready. So So what's left to do on the layout before the show? That's a good question. So it's mainly the board that's right at the front of the shop there, where the very fresh green grass and the Milky Bar bridges. Yeah. So it's all focused around that area. So in the cutting, which you can probably just see just down here, there's a pair of extra tracks in there now. And they're going to replicate a London Underground style line running around there. So I've got the tunnel portals to finish off for that. We've got the third rail or the fourth rail. And actually reminds me, I've got another gift for you, Mark.
Have you?
Yes. I bought you this.
I know exactly what's in there.
So in that package is a load of Code 60 rail and a load of insulator pots to do the third and fourth rail. So there's a gift from you.
There's my afternoon sorted. And you thought we sat here with our feet up on our desk.
Yeah. And then we've also got the ground cover to complete. We've got the walling to complete, a whole load of weathering, detailing and finishing. So there's quite a bit to do there. And then I suppose the other two big jobs to do is, one, we've got to pack all the stock.
We have.
3 big jobs. 3, we've got to find the rest of the stock.
Yes.
And then third, we've got to pack the layout.
Exactly. Well, I've done at least 3 of the train's CV codes.
Well,
so
that's 3 down.
Good. Yeah, 3 down. So just a few more to do over the course of the afternoon.
Yes, that'll keep you busy.
It will.
I do need some help with some other things though as well.
I will help you, don't worry.
And Ben doesn't know it yet, but he's getting roped into building bridges.
Yes. Well, that's fine. We'll keep everybody busy this afternoon.
Full team effort this afternoon.
We've got a little snagging list to deal with.
Absolutely.
I think there's at least one point that needs looking at as well. So.
There's a point motor that needs replacing as well. Yeah. So there's plenty to go at. So another question about 009 layout we built. How long did it take me to build? I don't know if I should answer that honestly. It was about 2 weeks. But there's probably 3 or 4 days of actual full-time work in that across that 2 weeks. It was built very rapidly, that layout, using all my techniques to make things quickly. So wouldn't recommend doing that at home yourself. Enjoy it a bit more, take a bit more time with it. So unfortunately, we are always building layouts to a deadline. So like everything else.
Everything's got a deadline to it, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's a very different way of actually modelling when it comes to the way we do things, perhaps to how you do things at home. And like, for example, my own layout at home, the progress on that is glacial compared to what we do from a work point of view. But
yes.
And thank you, Tim, for that. It's a good offer. Offered us some underground line side cabling. That's something we could probably add a bit later on as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Notice there's not much noise from the locos yet. Yes, we've kept the sound off on the locos because we didn't want that distracting from...
Didn't want it to drown us out.
Exactly, yes, which some of them would on here.
Some of the steam locomotives are quite loud. It's one of those things sometimes because we've got this set up in this office at the moment, sometimes we work down here as well. And if, I'm fiddling around with the locomotives, addressing them and what have you, and they're just all sat on the track, the cacophony of sound from the steam locomotives. Every now and again, when they blow and all sorts, it's quite distracting. So we've just kept it off for the time being. But don't worry, in the hall at the NEC next weekend, it'll all be working.
Yeah, full collection of sound, indeed. Yeah. There's a couple of comments about me building a layout in 2 weeks. Someone's asked me if I can build their layout for them in 2 weeks. Yeah.
He is a serial layout builder.
I do have problems.
Yeah.
Like I say, the way we model in the office for building layouts for the magazine is very different to how we build at home. It's like, Biscuit Mail said it's taking them a lot longer to build a layout. Well, I don't think that's an issue. I don't think it matters how long it takes to build a layout.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely. I mean, I think, obviously we've said we do things differently, and, the reality is on a Friday, Mike and I might have a discussion about something. What about? And on the Monday, there'll be the bare bones of it actually in the office already, started and working through. Yes. So it's the way we operate, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very different. I really don't think it matters how long it takes to build a railway. I think it's about how you enjoy it and what you get from it yourself ultimately.
It's about enjoying what you do. We have a great passion for what we do, but we also have deadlines and stuff that we have to adhere to.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like when we built 12 Trees, for example. I mean, the middle 16 foot here was originally built in about 3 months, but since then we've spent time working on different elements and actually. If you looked at what we've done and what we've completed here, you could actually say, it's taken us now, it's 2012 when I started building the first parts of this, so
13 years.
13 years since we actually started building this layout, so it does take time to fully build things.
Yeah,
and actually
yeah. I mean, I
wrap it
can
in.
remember when the bare bones of this was
Yeah.
just being put together when I joined the magazine. So yeah.
Exactly. So we've got a couple of questions about refreshments. So I know there's from Brian Chills about refreshments at the show. So in terms of food and drink, so there's lots of choices both inside and outside of our hall. So outside of the hall, there's places like there's bars and things there as well. If you want to get a drink, which we might need one of them by Sunday night.
Yeah,
But inside
lunchtime.
the hall, we've got loads of choices. Well, Saturday lunchtime. Inside the hall, we've got all kinds of different things. So one of the greatest things I think we've got coming in for refreshments is we've got a RML Routemaster, which is been converted into a fish and chip bus, and I will say I have sampled it already.
Have you?
Yes, yeah, I sampled it at a different NEC show.
I am looking forward to this one, to be fair.
And it was good food from there, to be fair. And you get to sit upstairs.
If you can't find me at the layout, you'll know where I'm going to be.
In the fish and chip bus, indeed. Yeah.
Top deck fish and chips.
Exactly, yeah. But there's plenty of food and drink around the hall, all different kinds of everything, both on the Piazza Court and course outside where our actual main hall is, as well as refreshments inside the hall. And yeah, I can definitely recommend the RML fish and chip bus. That's a great place to go. So, Stuart Higgins says, does Topsydale still exist? Yes, it does, but in a completely different format. It's currently being rebuilt back at my place. I've taken what was a 1960s London Midland region steam era layout into a modern traction layout with a whole combination of different things. There's a few videos on YouTube about the initial phase of what I've done for that, so you can find them here on YouTube about the updates on that as well.
It's still got some of the original wood on it, hasn't it?
It has got some.
Yeah.
I've used all the original baseboards, just not in the same order or in the same shape or with the same track on them. Any tips on shortcuts you use to speed things up? Impatience, not waiting for things to dry properly, but also finding actually the right materials to use to do those things as well. I mean, for example, with being a bit more serious about it, the work we've done here this morning, we've just done all the road surfaces and finished those off this morning. But to make that quick, I'm using mounting card, which is already coloured in the right kind of colour for the road surface that I want. And then it's been cut with a Stanley knife. And then to make it really quick to actually lay that and fit it down in place permanently, I've been using spray adhesive, which is a really quick and rapid way of building things. The other thing is hot glue is great for things where you've got joins to hide behind scenery, so like all the foam board structure of all the scenery on the baseboard in front there. And that's all held together with hot glue, which again is a really fast way of actually building that scenery up. It's just finding lots of little techniques where it's things like, for example, when we do build a layout very quickly, I'll aim to do things like a first base layer of grass at the end of one day, so then when I come into the office the next day, that's all dry, we sweep off the excess and we get straight on with the first coat, then a static grass over the top of it, and then that saves, it sounds a bit odd, but it does actually save you a bit of time, because you can then, it's probably only 30 minutes of work each time you come in to do that. But it does mean you don't have to then wait for it.
No, I mean, you achieved that in a very quick time this morning.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the grass cover that's on there now, that first layer of grass cover, that took me about 15 minutes at the most. I put all the plaster bandage on, that probably took about 45 minutes this morning. Painted that took about 5 minutes. It's all quick processes.
Yeah.
And just finding the right materials to do those things and things that do dry very quickly as well. So. What else we got? Biscuit Bar was looking for a group of people to finish his layout.
Right, okay.
So yeah, we love building layouts.
We do, and you know, it's well, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, isn't it? In terms of the amount of layouts that we've got sitting upstairs and knocking around the various parts of the office.
Exactly, yeah. It's, another question for us. What 2025 announced model are you looking forward to the most? So something that's been announced since the 1st of January.
Since the 1st of January? Okay. Well, one of them has come in already. Well, it's not 2025, is it, I suppose, because that was announced a little while back, but, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I know that Ben's definitely looking forward to the GWR County, was it? I think he's looking forward to. I can't remember.
It was Great Western. Great Western Saint.
Anything, and the Saint, of course,
Yep,
the Hornby
yep,
Saint.
yeah,
Anything Great Western is Ben's.
Yes.
Is Ben's bag.
Yeah, until he gets distracted by other things. Yeah. Which we're always bad at, by the way.
I'm particularly looking forward to the. Well, a lot of the electric multiple units that we've got here are mine. I've got being a southern boy, I've got a lot of interest in southern matters. So the Curascal Electrostars, actually.
Yes, actually, Electrostars.
4-car Electrostars.
Yeah.
I'm rather looking forward to.
Yeah, they'll be great.
They will be fondly looked after when they arrive and can go on the layout. I should look forward to that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do 12 trees in the modern era.
Maybe we can.
Because I've got Southwestern Railway Class 450s, the Backman ones.
Yep. Alongside some southeastern. No, it's not southeastern, which is it's the southern ones, wasn't it? That worked up onto the.
Yes.
Also, wasn't it?
Yeah, the southern ones.
Yeah.
So we could get some Electrostars. I've got some networkers somewhere at home in boxes. Yep. So yeah, we could do this in the modern era.
Yeah, plenty of choices.
Yeah.
So yeah, Electrostars are going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else has been announced this year.
There's been quite a few bits and pieces, hasn't there?
The Saint will be nice. I think the Saints could be nice.
I think the Saint in particular. I think that's looking very promising.
Yeah.
And I know Ben in the office has been giddy with excitement of this particular model.
Well, it's a long time.
And the county as well. I mean, I think he thinks all his Christmases have come at once.
Yeah, yeah. And Brian's asked, which of our layouts can people have a go on at the show? So we'll have Lanarkside, which is our £500 challenge layout. That'll be there for people to have a go at the shunting puzzle on, and it's all now got working point motors on it as well, so you can have a go with digital control, learn a bit about how you actually drive trains with digital control, and also learn about how the points work and get a bit more of an insight into all of that as well. So that'll be there ready for people to come and have a play with on our stand. So it really is coming down to the final countdown for the show now.
Well, it is. I mean, what is it? This time next week, we will have been in the hall getting set up and starting to get everything underway.
Half a day already.
We would have already done half a day by now, this time in a week's time. So, yes, there's a lot to do between now and then, which we're, going to take the Easter weekend to recover now, so we're all ready to actually then get underway straight away on Tuesday, because it'll be like hitting the ground running on Tuesday.
It certainly will.
But yes, I mean, it's going to be a great show next weekend. We're in Hall 2 at the NEC, which is the one that's at the closest end by the railway station, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. So it's literally, actually, if you come in by train to Model World Live and arrive at Birmingham International Station, as you walk across the skywalk, you're actually walking across the top of Model World Live. Right. Because Hall 2 is underneath that skywalk, so as you come down to the bottom of the stairs, just turn right to the bottom of the stairs from the railway station, and we're literally right there in Hall 2. Nice and easy if you come in by car as well. So for those arriving by car at the show, we'll be using the East car parks. It's about a 5 to 10 minute walk, depending on how early you arrive into those East car parks. It'd be quite nice to have a little walk across the NEC, walk around the duck pond and things. Yep. Obviously, there is also the free bus service, which is run by the NEC to take people from the car parks to the show as well. And they'll drop you off right outside the main atrium entrance, which is then literally a short walk to get into the main halls there. I mentioned about car parking as well. It is really important if you are coming by car and you're going to park your car at the NEC, make sure you do book your parking in advance, because you get a big discount over on the day prices. So you can save £5 when you book your parking in advance with the NEC. Full details of how to book your NEC parking are online at Key Model World website, keymodelworld.com/modelworldlive. And if you scroll down the website, you'll find the details for the advance parking there as well. All that's managed by the NEC.
And what's the deadline for getting advance entry tickets?
Yeah, so advance ticket deadline is on Monday, so April the 21st at 11:59 p.m. So that's the advance ticket deadline. So that gives you just this weekend to get your advance ticket purchases in. It's big saving over on the door prices as well, so save up to £7 versus on the door prices. And don't forget, if you are a Hornby Magazine, Airfix Model World or Key Model World subscriber, you do get your subscriber discount added on there as well, which you can apply for online at our web shop.
We're really looking forward to it, aren't we?
We certainly are, and we've got so many options of tickets this year. We've brought in new features for tickets this year, so as well as the standard general admission and the VIP tickets we've done before, we've also done some bundle tickets. So like I mentioned, there's the Simon Kohler book as a bundle ticket option. We can pre-order for the book. There's also a pre-order bundle option ticket for a exclusive Spitfire kit we've done with Airfix, which replicates a Mk.IXc Spitfire, just like the one we've got inside the hall, but with some different markings on it. And we've also got another bundle for our new bookazine, which is a beginner's guide to modelling, which is coming out as well. which covers model railways and scale modelling techniques and a few other things in there as well. So lots of different ticket options, all available now, all nice discounts over what you pay if you come and turn up to the show on the day.
And don't forget, when you are at the show next weekend, do come over to the stand, come and look at the layouts that we've got there, come and see 12 Trees, of course, and also find out more about some of the big announcements that we've got for the new limited edition models that we'll be mentioning.
Yes, new things for us to announce as well. So lots of exciting things to see at the show on our stand, and obviously we'll be there throughout the weekend. We look forward to seeing you as many as possible there. So that's. And Brian's mentioned another good tip here as well. If you are to park at the station, then it can be cheaper than parking at the NEC for parking as well. So plenty of options there for where to park.
Sometimes getting on one of the stations, just 1 or 2 stops down the line as well, is a good call too.
It is, yes, yeah. So it's nice and easy to get from Birmingham International, and there's lots of trains.
There's lots of trains coming in and out of the station from all operators, Avanti. The West Midlands and also cross country, all stopping there.
And if you're coming by air, then you get to have a ride on the SkyTrain.
Well, indeed, and I believe that I'm looking forward to having a go at that actually, because I've not done that before. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to nipping off for 10 minutes for a little trip if I can.
Well, you get to do that each day because we're actually staying at the airport.
Oh, are we? Well, who knew?
Yes, you get to go on the SkyTrain every day.
I only get told where to be. I don't actually know until I get there.
It so you can have a ride on the SkyTrain.
Okay, well that's good. That's
and you
good.
make your weekend.
I'll be very happy now.
Right, well, thank you very much for joining us, unless anyone's got any more questions. But we hope you enjoyed this live stream today and this little insight into what's happening with Model World Live and with 12 Trees Junction. And like I say, we hope to see as many of you as possible at Model World Live on April 26th and 27th at the NEC in Birmingham. Thank you again. I'll see you soon.
See you there.